Hello, I'm Justin, and I want to help you with developing your creativity. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start with a scale shape. Now, I know there are a lot of scale shapes, and some people think there are millions of scale shapes. But the reason we're going to start with a scale shape is that I want you to understand one way of approaching this that can make it a lot easier. So what we're going to do is eventually, while I teach, I have 5 basic scale shapes that I give everyone. And these same 5 shapes can be used for major keys or minor keys, which we would of course get into and explain how that works. But basically what we're doing is we get it down to 5 basic shapes to start with by using all 6 strings in a shape. So I'll play one of the shapes for you. This is called shape 7. We're going to play in the key of G. And the reason we call it shape 7 is because it starts on the F sharp note, which is the 7th note in the series for the key of G. So we play it here in the 2nd position with the index finger on the F sharp. So we have those 3 notes and these 3, so you can see that they use the same finger arrangement. And then the next pair of strings uses the ring finger there. String 2 has just 2 notes, and then back to on to string 1, which has the same fingering that we had for the first 2, 6 and 5. Okay? So a lot of people will play a shape and then work it for a long time because they want to have it memorized and all of that. But what I usually suggest is that we start making music with it as soon as we can. So I use just a cheap little keyboard and something that has accompaniment presets where it plays a style of music and it has drums and maybe some organ sounds or a bass line or something of that nature. So I like using those. And so that's what I have here, and that's what we'll use to play over. So I'm going to play the 2nd position with shape 7 in the key of G, and then we will just listen to it while I play. I'm going to play a G chord here, so we get to hear it over the 1 chord. Okay, so that's what it sounds like over the G chord. Well, what happens when we play another chord in the key of G, such as the 2nd one, A minor? Well, we can use the same shape because it uses the same notes of the same key, so there's no reason to change. So we just hear things differently because our surroundings have changed. Instead of being surrounded by a G chord, we're surrounded by an A minor chord. So that's how that works. When we move to B minor, again, B minor is in the same key. It's the 3rd chord in that series. Okay? So it works the same way with all of the other chords in the key of G. And the other thing I want you to know is that in our shape, and we learn 5 shapes, like I said before, this is just one of them, shape 7, we end up learning how to find the other things that are found in a key, like pentatonics. I know you've probably played some pentatonics, and if you haven't, you will eventually. Same thing with arpeggios. The way we find the notes in the shape is to know what the notes are, learn what the shape is within this range of all of the notes that are available. So we can think of a scale as having all of the notes of a key. And then the other things that we do, like the pentatonics, there are only 5 notes in that, but it's not 5 notes completely separate from that key. It's just 5 notes within that key. We're just not playing 2 of them because there are 7 total. So with arpeggios, we do the same thing, because some arpeggios have 3 notes, some have 4 notes. So if we have a 3-note arpeggio, it means there are 4 notes in the key that we're not playing. And if we have a 4-note arpeggio, it's the same as it's as if we have just 3 notes in the scale that we're not playing. So that's basically how it works. So as we continue, you'll learn more shapes. You'll learn pentatonics and how to find them in each shape, and the same thing with the arpeggios. So there you go.